So if we talk about the bubble of perception, we fill the bubble of perception with how ultimately we want to feel, of course, because that's the measure of experience is through feeling it. And, she wants to feel more energized, or, Donna has things that she wants to gain. It's a feeling in the bubble of perception that is the motivating factor, and that's, I think, normal. That makes sense. In fact, it's not just normal, it's what every human being is doing it, whether they know it or not. The trick is knowing it and doing it intentionally and purposefully, because everybody has a bubble of perception, whether they're paying attention to it or they're filling it or recognizing it as such is neither here nor there. It exists. And so, but quality, as we're using the word, can be there even if you deplete yourself. Somebody could easily find an underlining quality in that. They could injure themselves. They could fall and they could have been mindless, in that moment and sprained their ankle. And still, there's an opportunity to reveal a certain type of quality in that moment that is very dependent on that moment, because there's a lot of things happening in that bubble of perception. Well, I mean, this is a underlying truth, but the bubble of perception is always unique because it's always moving and it's always changing. But so what we're feeling in that bubble of perception will always have a unique quality to it. And the uniqueness, that underlying layer of everything, is the quality that is revealed. And the reason it's revealed is because we're practicing. Our mind is in one, if not all four directions of attention. So we're feeling into our body, or, like me, I like to use points and channels and Dantian, and I do a lot of old man structural integrity, because if I don't create space in my cervical neck, it's going to hurt, and I don't want it to hurt. So, I'm getting to the point where my practice is preventing my body from like just falling into shambles. And that's fine, that's what it's there for, right? It's for whatever we need it for. But that involves attention in my body, very deliberate and specific attention outside of my body. I really like inclusive vision. The ones in the book, like I can't help it. Like they're going to be, sometimes I can use other people's examples, but I have to write about how I feel, and the things that I would do. And, I still do basic warm-ups that I learned at the very beginning of Tai Chi and Kung Fu. When I find something that makes me feel a certain way, I don't strive to just, continue to fill in new things and I don't mind a new technique if it's introduced to me, but I don't necessarily seek it. So with that in mind, I'm still doing a lot of the same stuff that I was in the very beginning of the practice. It's just now I'm doing it more often, basically. But I still like the shadows. I still like the reflections. Shayna is going to be playing with light and the differentiation of aperture from distance and close, and how the light interacts with the environment. These are the examples I use in my book. So playing with light, playing with shadows and reflections, using inclusive vision. Sometimes the peripheral, the defocused vision, that's different. I have to clarify that now, that that's two different things. Peripheral creates a kind of defocusing, but inclusive, stuff isn't necessarily unfocused. It's just you're really populating the bubble of perception with a lot of stimuli. So there's a lot of you're including a lot. But we have to boil it down back to what are we actually doing? So in Ida's examples, what is she actually doing? She's redirecting using internal self-talk to help. That's the E, that's the earth direction. And she's going back into her body, making sure that the words are purposeful and pointing back towards specific aspects of the exterior environment, specific aspects of the breath and how we're interacting with our own breathing apparatus. Maybe we're becoming aware and taking possession of awareness itself. So we're seeing ourselves in space and time, which is a type of meta awareness, or whatever you want to call it. But it is a special type of thing when you're aware of your own awareness. Like it is something that happens, and Tolle wrote a whole book or two about it, right? So but to me, that's just a trick of attention. Like it's cool, but I'm not going to go all woody woody with it. That's just a tool. That's just one of my many tools to help realign me back to the four directions, because when my four directions are strong, then my body is strong, my mind is strong, my energy is, and by strong, I mean stable. I mean, it's more harmonious, so it has more power to it. And when that occurs, the underlying quality reveals itself. So I don't even have to try to find quality. In fact, trying to find it is one of the things that can prevent you from feeling it and truly discovering it, is trying to find the quality. That's, you can, um, but you don't have to. It will reveal itself through the four directions by doing the four directions. It's the act of doing it that clears the palette and makes yourself available to it, right? That was one of the warrior principles, is making yourself available to power. And power, the way that I'm using the word, is an accumulation of momentum of something. And that's what it could be: intention and will, the momentum of that. Your attention itself can start to carry a type of momentum, and it has a type of power to it.